What is up, friends? Welcome back for another episode of Better Call Saul Season 6. Cannot wait to get into this one in particular because I feel like this is the first episode in quite a while where I have absolutely no clue what direction they're going to go with it, because for pretty much the entirety of Season 6 so far, obviously we've got the Kim and Jimmy scheme against Howard, and then at the beginning we also had the Nacho stuff going on and Lalo's revenge, so we had a pretty clear direction. But after Lalo's death in the last episode, I don't feel like there's any clear direction they could take the next couple of episodes here, at least until we get to the Gene episodes. That could be this episode. I really don't know when that's going to pop up again, but it just makes me extra excited not knowing exactly what we could get into with this episode. But with the amazing writing of this show, I'm sure whatever they do, I'm going to absolutely love. And so hopefully you enjoy watching along with me for this one, and if you do, definitely consider leaving a thumbs up, helps the videos out. And of course, all the full-length reactions are always available ahead of time on Patreon, link for that in the description below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into episode 9. Fantastic cinematography and editing so far. I love what they're doing, trying to put on their best happy faces after what they just went through. I had a feeling we'd get another cool transition right there, a little bit darker though. Darker as in the material. Bro, this show is just pure art, man. It's incredible. They never let up the quality for a single second. Jimmy always getting up to his schemes. I could honestly watch an entire episode done like this. This is so entertaining. Man, looks as good as new, but the memories are certainly gonna stay stained in their brains. Holy cow, every moment of this episode so far belongs in a museum. This is so good.
One day we'll wake up and brush our teeth and we'll go to work, and at some point we'll suddenly realize that we haven't thought about it at all.
I don't blame him one bit for staying somewhere else right now. I could not stay in that house after what happened.
We'll know we can forget.
Jimmy's optimism is something else. Oh my goodness, man. What a way to start this episode. I feel like that's one of my favorite intros they've done, but I mean, every intro is phenomenal, so you can't go wrong. Dude, the cinematography of this is off the charts. I'm assuming Vince Gilligan directed it again. He is an absolute master of his craft. Yes, let's keep this shot going. So well done. Stuff like this has got to take so much planning and preparation. Oh, interesting. It's not directed by Vince Gilligan. Okay, well, whoever did it, which I feel like I've seen his name before, he's killing it. What a showdown this is gonna be. You can't reveal anything in post just yet, though. Gotta keep it secret.
Don Héctor ha hecho una acusación muy seria.
El atentado contra mi sobrino en su hacienda falló. Escuché la verdad de sus propios labios. Fue Fring quien mandó a los asesinos
Man, how are they gonna believe him though? They can't prove it anymore. Lalo is long gone.
Esto fue obra del pollero. Mire a Fring a los ojos. Allí verá la verdad. El pollero lo odia. Es nuestro enemigo. Él conspira en contra de nosotros.
This show is so good. Whoa, I love that shot with the fire in his glasses. Someone can literally just be reading a letter like that and I'm on the edge of my seat.
No tengo respuesta.
Debes hablar.
Con todo respeto, no me parece que esto merezca una respuesta.
Ustedes presenciaron estas llamadas de Lalo.
Oh man, he is fresh out of luck. Lalo couldn't tell anybody else though because he had to keep everything on the down low.
Ya es tarde, don Héctor. Esta noche duermes en mi cama. Está a gusto. Y quién sabe, a lo mejor unas de las chicas te visitarán.
Oh, he wants nothing else but Gus dead. That actor is something else though. The things he can do without speaking is incredible.
Te invitaría a que te quedes también, Gustavo, pero no quiero que me arruine el desayuno con el...
Oh my gosh, man. I don't know. Personally, I'm a big fan of the dings.
Debemos mantener la paz. El South Valley seguirá siendo de los Salamanca y el resto del norte será tuyo para bolsa.
Like nothing ever happened. Loved the two-face kind of lighting on Gus during this entire conversation, playing both sides of the coin. I don't know if it's intentional, but could also just be foreshadowing his eventual fate.
Cuando te miré los ojos, el odio. Un poquito no está mal, siempre y cuando no te olvides de quién manda.
I love that so much. He's next on the hit list. Not long before Gus takes him out too. Oh, very interesting cutting back to Gus. He certainly has not forgotten what happened there all that time ago.
The APD consensus is he walked into the ocean and killed himself. Without a body, they can't close the file. But for all practical purposes, it's over.
When can construction resume?
We need to find a new engineer. That could take some time.
Start today.
Dude is all about the business. No rest for him. Interesting little moment right there between the two of them. I feel like Mike was maybe hoping for a bit of a break. Is Mike gonna go visit him? Still devastating what happened to Nacho. It's gotta weigh pretty heavy on Mike. And what a legend. So happy we get to see him again. If Mike actually tells him what happened, that's going to be sad to watch him get hit with that realization.
Yes?
Mr. Varga, you don't know me, but I'd like to talk about your son.
What happened?
Maybe we could talk face to face.
Oh, that's going to be an incredible scene, dude. Never thought these two would meet.
Who are you?
It's not important.
What about my son?
He won't be found. It was over fast, no pain.
You were there.
I was there.
Nobody better to bring this news than Mike, someone who actually cared about him.
He had a good heart. You won't have to worry about the Salamancas. There'll be justice.
What you talk about is not justice. What you talk of is revenge.
Every scene this guy is in is incredible. He's one of my favorite side characters. Some wise words.
My boy is gone. Ustedes son el cartel. Y su justicia. Todos son iguales.
What an amazing scene, just as good as I would have hoped for. I love the physical separation between the two of them, just representing how different their positions are. I think Nacho's dad is where Mike wishes he could be at this point, being removed from it all.
Nobody could relate to a client quite like he could. And it wasn't an act, he genuinely cared. I never saw it coming.
I never saw it coming either, the way it happened. I wish they could know the truth.
This is probably the last time any of us will be in this building. HHM is downsizing. Yep, they're going to take half a floor downtown. They're changing their name.
Changing their name to what?
Bruckner Partners.
Wow, they single-handedly destroyed an entire firm. Mainly Jimmy, though, because he was responsible for Chuck.
Jimmy McGill, you may not remember me. I'm Chuck McGill's brother. Very sorry for your loss.
You two were the last ones to see him, weren't you?
I guess so. That's what the police said.
Howard told me that you were harassing him.
Oh, I wonder if she's gonna figure it out, dang. But also, now that I've been watching through another show, she's in Mr. Robot, isn't she?
I'm not oblivious. I know people are saying he was on drugs. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
He just didn't seem like himself.
Are you hearing all of this? Because none of it makes sense to me.
Oh man, it's not gonna be a tight enough lie in order for her to believe it.
It was about a year and a half ago. I saw a light on in Howard's office. I assumed the cleaning crew left it on by mistake.
And?
And Howard was there at his desk, and he was snorting something.
Oh my, dude. She is too good at lying. Just continuing to put him down.
In all the years that you worked with him, have you witnessed anything like this?
Cheryl, this really isn't the time or the place.
Oh, I feel so bad for another innocent person hurt by their actions.
It's over. I mean, really over. Let the healing begin.
I had a feeling that's what was gonna happen. Usually after they do something sketchy like that, turns them on. More of a somber kiss this time though than passionate. The composition and the framing of this episode is elite. Every scene has me glued to the screen.
I submitted an additional motion. I'm assuming you have not seen it yet. I apologize. It was a last-minute addition.
Last minute is right. You're requesting to withdraw from this case?
I've already been in touch with another attorney, Paige Novick. She's highly qualified and familiar with the case.
Oh man, Kim cannot handle it anymore. I can't blame her. Her mind's somewhere else. Barely holding it together.
I'm inclined to have you argue your motion, and then I'll consider late arriving petitions.
It's impossible for me to continue with this hearing. I'm no longer an attorney. I gave notice to the bar 2 hours ago.
Whoa, that is not what I was expecting to hear, man. Came out of nowhere. Well, not completely. Obviously, the events were weighing heavy on her mind. Maybe she feels like a hypocrite, like I was saying. Or it could just be that she always feels too anxious to function.
Why? All right, I know why. But Kim, you can't just...
Jimmy,
Just let me say my piece, okay?
Oh man, my heart is racing. Exactly how I would have expected him to react.
Kim, you don't just throw everything away. You give them everything you've got. Who are they going to find who's half as good as you? They need you.
It's already done.
Oh, okay, what's done can be undone.
Oh man, I'm surprised that Jimmy stuck or is sticking with it longer than Kim.
We're going to leave here. We're never, ever going to come back here again. But first, we have to fix this.
Jimmy! You asked if you were bad for me. That's not it. We are bad for each other.
Oh, what a line right there. I mean, it's 100% truth, but it's sad watching him fall apart. There was so much promise at the beginning.
I have had the time of my life with you. But we are bad for everyone around us. Other people suffer. Apart, we're okay, but together, we're poison.
No.
Oh, heartbreaking. Incredible writing, though. I feel like a split was inevitable after what happened, though.
I love you.
I love you, too. But so what?
No, Kim, you're wrong. This is about Howard. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault.
This was not what I expected for this episode. What a roller coaster of emotion.
I knew.
You knew what?
I knew he was alive.
No, you didn't.
Mike Ehrmantraut had guys watching both of us, watching for Lalo.
I can't believe she's telling him now. What a bomb to drop on him. How is he gonna take this?
I thought it was a 1 in a million chance that he'd come for us. I thought he would be caught. The real reason I didn't tell you was because I knew what you'd do. You'd blame yourself. You'd want us to run and hide until you were sure I was safe.
I can't believe Kim put all of this on herself. She's been living in fear so much.
We'd break up, and I didn't want that because I was having too much fun.
Man, this is heavy, Emmy-worthy stuff right now. What a cut. I love that we could just hear the tape sounds, nothing else. Jimmy is gonna be so lonely without Kim. Bro, did we jump way forward? I recognize some of this stuff, I think, from the intro to the season. We move on freaking quick.
Got it. What else you got? Oh, that's my Xanax guy. Tell him yes and today. Another public masturbator? Which one? A new guy? Huh.
How many are there? I didn't realize it was such an epidemic. Love how there's no wait period, though. We've just jumped straight into the future now. Or the mid-future, not quite the Gene future.
Auto insurance won't pay for your fender bender? Ripped off by your brother-in-law? Major or minor surgery gone wrong? I'm here for you, Albuquerque. 505, 503, 4...
Love it. There's so many little things he's doing with his mannerisms that really reminisce of Saul and Breaking Bad that Jimmy didn't necessarily have. Just got that extra air of pompousness about him.
Stop the check ASAP, then call the station manager. If the ad doesn't make my ears bleed the next time it plays, I will see him in court. Screw the FCC. I'll go to the mat with those pencil pushers. Oh.
I love seeing him like this. It's so good. Feels just like we've teleported back into a deleted scene of Breaking Bad.
Call the station manager, tell him to crank it up, or I'll see him in court.
Got it. Move.
Here we go. This is how I remembered The Office in all its glory. Oh man, absolutely brilliant. Such an iconic room. So excited to be back here.
Let justice be done, though the heavens fall.
Oh man, that's where it ends. Dang it, now I'm extra excited to get into the next episode because we're moving quite a bit forward right now, so it can't be long before we get to Gene scenes. But what a shock that Kim is alive, because obviously they just broke up and I assume that's the last time he interacted with her, so I'd imagine we could potentially see her again in the future, either in that present day or in the Gene sequences. Who knows? There is going to be such a massive hole left after this show is done airing in TV, because this does it better than pretty much anything else out there right now, in my opinion, even better than Breaking Bad in a lot of areas, and so I am going to miss it dearly, but I am super stoked to see what they do with the last couple of episodes here. So glad that there's still a bit that we have to go, and once again, another impeccable episode with this one, especially from the technical side. Obviously, the intense story has been where my focus was the last two episodes, just because of how riveting that stuff was. But this episode, with it being a little bit more stress-free and not as high intensity, I could focus on that stuff a little bit more, and every single scene had something to really appreciate, from the lighting to the blocking of certain characters and how they move the camera with them. I felt like they did that a lot more in this episode than they have in some of the previous ones, where they wouldn't just change angles or just do some wide long take, but they would actually move the camera in almost a theatrical, like a theater type motion, instead of just a traditional film way. And so I really appreciated the ways in which they did that, and it helped kind of bring me into the scene more as an audience member. I felt like I was there with the characters, like I had a specific POV that I was watching from. And so all of the technical sides of this episode were just flawless from start to finish, and I think all of those were accentuated even more by the editing, which I pointed out quite a bit, the things I loved about the way they would transition between scenes. But the most jarring moment of editing, that wasn't really jarring in a negative way, it was just surprising, the jump we made, was when we transitioned from Kim packing to Jimmy in the future, which I kind of appreciate that they didn't elect to just focus on Jimmy exclusively during that period and just do a bunch of episodes, or an episode or two where he's just kind of transitioning to that eccentric personality that we all love in Breaking Bad, that we've seen glimpses of in Better Call Saul, because I think it represents kind of his mental state as well, where everything between Kim leaving and the moment we see him in there is just kind of mindless repetition, that he's just trying to either keep his mind off of things, the past events and Kim specifically, or he's just trying to fill the void in his heart with as much noise as he possibly can, whether it's these loud ads that he was requesting, or just packing his office full of people, having these way over the top decorative elements, or obviously filling his life with actual people that we saw in this first scene there. But I guess it could also relate in a way to what he was talking about with Kim, where he was saying one day they'll wake up and they won't be thinking about it and realize that they can forget those events. And so him waking up there at the end in the future and never mentioning or looking like he was remembering Kim or Lalo or all of that stuff could just be the show telling us that that maybe was the first day that Jimmy fully forgot those events, or at least had gotten to a point where it wasn't weighing down his mind constantly. But obviously he could never truly forget, because in Breaking Bad, when he's first taken, he obviously blurts out Lalo and Ignacio's names, and so it's still there in the back of his mind even if he wants to forget fully. And maybe that's why in particular he gets so interested in Walter, is because it brings back all these memories from before, and it reignites this fire that he wants to get involved even if it's dangerous. And so next week cannot come soon enough. I really want to see what they do next, if we focus on this era of Saul Goodman for a little bit, or if we just get straight to the Gene scenes. I feel like there's got to be a little bit more of a connection before we just wrap up everything, which I'm especially wondering how they're going to wrap up his story in the future, what it's all going to entail. I feel like potentially it could involve Kim, although I don't know how he would have gotten her information and how she would have been on the grid if she's not a lawyer anymore. But however they do it, knowing how excellent Vince Gilligan and Peter Gold are as writers and creators, and the rest of their team as well, I'm sure it will be the most satisfying, or at least the most logical way to end it, his arc and his character. And so hopefully you enjoyed watching along with me for this episode. If you did, definitely consider leaving a thumbs up, helps the video out, and of course full-length reactions are available on Patreon ahead of time, link for that in the description below. But until the next episode, look forward to seeing you all later. Peace.